Welcome to the best Rick and Morty Season 1 side characters. So this is a bit of a test video for something I want to do with the Venture Bros, but I don't really know how I'm going to do it yet. So I thought I'd make a test one with Rick and Morty, because Venture Brothers has a lot more side characters that are sort of more important to the plot than they are in Rick and Morty. This is significantly more throwaway characters than Venture Brothers would ever use. First, from episode 2, it was a tough decision from episode 2, because I also very much like Snuffles the Robo-Dog. It's...
Where are my testicles, Summer? They were removed. Where have they gone?
Scary Terry, a legally distinct knockoff of Freddy Krueger, with tiny swords for fingers instead of knives.
Some sort of legally safe knockoff of an 80s horror character with miniature swords for fingers instead of knives.
This character is funny, memorable, and honestly, for an episode 2... sort of bit character, very well done. Even the Venture Bros wasn't pulling off stuff like that yet. Even the Venture Bros wasn't pulling that off by the second episode. But this character is memorable, funny, and has a classic, one of the show's best catchphrases, with bitch.
Don't belong together, bitch! Sex is sacred!
Terry starts off as an antagonist, but through Rick's magical science, they're able to intercept his dream and nightmare and help him out, and he turns to the good side. Voiced by Jesse Harnell, who does a couple of different characters in the show, but this is one of his more memorable. He is also the voice of Wacko from Animaniacs, and also Ironslide from the Transformers movies. Dr. Xenon Bloom. Dr. Xenon Bloom, voiced by British comedian John Oliver.
I'm Dr. Xenon Bloom.
Hey Bloom, it's Rick. What the hell's going on?
This amoeba is a genius scientist and the co-founder of Anatomy Park, a rip-off of both Disneyland and Jurassic Park with a human anatomy theme, because it is built inside the rotting corpse of a homeless person. Xenon Bloom sort of plays a Richard Hammond-esque character, the eccentric owner of the park, describing all the contraptions and what's going wrong. But unlike Richard Hammond, he is not completely corrupt. He ends up giving his life to save Morty and Annie from certain death at the hands of E. coli. Business introduced us to Bird Person. He becomes an essential part of the cast, showing up throughout the future seasons, helping Morty with life decisions, and eventually convincing Rick to come to his wedding.
Bird Person!
I am pleased there is no emergency.
Oh, there's an emergency, alright. Emergency? When's the last time you got laid, Purrs?
Something that Rick swore he would never do again. And while things for Bird Person may not end up the best, Bird Person in this episode is living it up. He's at a party with Rick Sanchez, he's drinking, he's meeting the ladies. Unfortunately, that lady turned out to be a little more than he could handle, but everyone makes mistakes. And Bird Person is voiced by one of the show's co-creators, Dan Harmon, while Justin Roiland does almost every other character. It's nice that Harmon gets to show up every so often. Something Wicked This Way Comes introduces us to the Devil.
You work for the devil!
So what?
So what?
Yes, so what if he's the devil, Rick? At least the devil has a job.
Satan himself. Which is a big step up, but I guess in a show where people can go to different dimensions, why can't hell exist? Alfred Molina voices this devil, who is tricksy, needful, and not the best at his job. Rick outplays him, but he gets revenge. But he gets revenge in a cleverer, devious way. But we all know that. Of course, he didn't predict Rick and Summer just straight up kicking his ass. Mesix and Destroy introduces us to the titular character, Mr. Mesix.
I'm Mr. Mesix! Look at me!
A blue man with a tiny tuft of orange hair who will do any task you give him once you press his magic button. And once that task is complete, completely vanishes from existence. Job done. Who wouldn't want a slave that only existed for a tiny amount of time and you didn't have to feel bad about it doing your bidding? Everyone would love that. And finally, the most important character, and one of the few characters that consistently comes back and seems to be important to the show, Evil Morty. We're not sure how evil this character is throughout most of the episode. He seems to just be serving a Rick like all Mortys, but at the very end of the episode, we learned that he is in fact the one controlling the Rick. And we know Evil Morty shows up again, where he's now taken control of the Citadel of Rick and seems to be making big changes to the world. Hopefully in Season 5 we'll get to see a little bit more of him. Well, this was another video. I'm hoping that it's a fun enough format for it to work for the Venture Bros. So let me know what you think in the comments below. See you next time.